Hello, welcome to the CEO dg&la YouTube channel. Current Affairs Mega Series MCQs 25 Question and Answers of 2020 edition. This is highly useful for SSC, Railways, RBI, SBI, IBPS, Nabard and all competitive exams. First one. How many Rafale fighter jets are being flown into India from France? The options are A4, B5, C3, D6. Second one. Which nation has dropped India from Chabahar rail project? The options are A. Afghanistan, B. China, C. Iran, D. Pakistan. First one. How many Rafale fighter jets are being flown into India from France? The answer is option B, 5. 5 Rafale fighter jets took off from France on July 27, 2020 to join the Indian Air Force fleet in Ambala on July 29th. They were flagged off by the Indian ambassador to France from an airbase in Mérignac in France. Second one. Which nation has dropped India from Chabahar rail project? The answer is option C, Iran. India has been dropped out from the construction of a railway line from Chabahar port to Zahedan along the border with Afghanistan, as the Iranian government has decided to proceed with the construction on its own. The agreement to build the railway line was signed by Iran and India 4 years ago. Third one. Which among the following tech giants has announced USD 10 billion worth investment in India? The options are A. Microsoft, B. Facebook, C. Apple, D. Google. Fourth one. The Construction Industry Development Council has initiated a skill development program in which union territory? The options are A. Daman and Diu, B. Andaman and Nicobar Islands, C. Chandigarh, D. Puducherry. Third one. Which among the following tech giants has announced USD 10 billion worth investment in India? The answer is option D, Google. Google CEO Sundar Pichai on July 13, 2020 announced an investment worth Rs 75,000 crore, which is approximately $10 billion in India over the next 5 to 7 years through the Google for India Digitization Fund. Fourth one. The Construction Industry Development Council has initiated a skill development program in which union territory? The answer is option B, Andaman and Nicobar Islands. The Construction Industry Development Council (CIDC), established by the Niti Aayog, has initiated a skill development program in Andaman and Nicobar Islands to provide employment-oriented training and skill development to the marginalized section. Fifth one. Which nation's COVID-19 vaccine is expected to receive local regulatory approval in the first half of August? The options are A. Germany, B. Russia, C. UK, D. Switzerland. Sixth one. Which among the following state governments has launched a jobs portal for the recruitment of skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workers? The options are A. Odisha, B. Jharkhand, C. Bihar, D. Maharashtra. Fifth one. Which nation's COVID-19 vaccine is expected to receive local regulatory approval in the first half of August? The answer is option B, Russia. Russia's first potential COVID-19 vaccine is likely to get local regulatory approval in the first half of August. The vaccine is expected to be first administered to frontline health workers. Sixth one. Which among the following state governments has launched a jobs portal for the recruitment of skilled, semi-skilled and unskilled workers? The answer is option D, Maharashtra. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray on July 6th launched the Maha Jobs Portal, which aims at providing job opportunities to residents of the state. The newly launched portal will help in the recruitment of semi-skilled, skilled and unskilled employees. Seventh one. Which state has imposed a 3-day lockdown from July 10th till July 13th? The options are A. Telangana, B. Kerala, C. Karnataka, D. Uttar Pradesh. Eighth one. Which nation has recorded the largest reduction in multidimensional poverty as per the latest UN report? The options are A. Myanmar, B. Sri Lanka, C. Bangladesh, D. India. Seventh one. Which state has imposed a 3-day lockdown from July 10th till July 13th? The answer is option D, Uttar Pradesh. The Uttar Pradesh state government has imposed lockdown in the state from July 10th till July 13th. The UP Chief Secretary R.K. Tiwari, in an order to all district authorities, stated that the restriction has been imposed to check the spread of COVID-19 and other communicable diseases. Eighth one. Which nation has recorded the largest reduction in multidimensional poverty as per the latest UN report? The answer is option D, India. India witnessed almost 273 million people move out of multidimensional poverty between 2005 to 2006 and 2015 to 2016 as per UN report on Global Multidimensional Poverty Index (MPI). The report noted that India recorded the largest reduction in the number of people living in this category. Ninth one. Which ministry has prepared a blueprint for a new scheme to enable cashless treatment of motor accident victims? The options are A. Home Ministry, B. Transport Ministry, C. Defense Ministry, D. Urban Affairs Ministry. 10th one. Which country has banned its telecom companies from sourcing 5G equipment from Huawei? The options are A. France, B. Germany, C. United Kingdom, D. United States. Ninth one. Which ministry has prepared a blueprint for a new scheme to enable cashless treatment of motor accident victims? The answer is option B, Transport Ministry. The Road Transport and Highways Ministry has prepared a blueprint to implement a new scheme for the cashless treatment of motor accident victims. The scheme includes the creation of a motor vehicle accident fund. 10th one. Which country has banned its telecom companies from sourcing 5G equipment from Huawei? The answer is option C, United Kingdom. The United Kingdom has imposed a ban on its telecom companies from sourcing 5G equipment from Chinese telecom company Huawei. The announcement was made by UK's Digital Secretary Oliver Dowden after a meeting chaired by UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson. 11th one. Which state has announced SOPs for Char Dham Yatra? The options are A. Uttarakhand, B. Himachal Pradesh, C. Jammu and Kashmir, D. Delhi. 12th one. Which nation's president has tested positive for coronavirus? The options are A. Brazil, B. Russia, C. France, D. US. 11th one. Which state has announced SOPs for Char Dham Yatra? The answer is option A, Uttarakhand. The Uttarakhand government has issued SOPs for its state residents who are planning to undertake the Char Dham Yatra, which is a pilgrimage to Badrinath, Kedarnath Gangotri, and Yamunotri shrines. The state had permitted its residents to go on the holy pilgrimage from July 1st, 2020 with certain restrictions. 12th one. Which nation's president has tested positive for coronavirus? The answer is option A, Brazil. Brazilian President Jair Bolsonaro tested positive for COVID-19 on July 7, 2020. Bolsonaro had earlier played down the severity of the virus, calling it little flu. He had taken the test on July 6th after developing the symptoms. 13th. Actress Kelly Preston passed away recently at the age of 57 due to breast cancer. She was married to which Hollywood star? The options are A. Tom Cruise, B. John Travolta, C. George Clooney, D. Matt Damon. 14th. IIF is planning to procure hammer missiles from which nation? The options are A. Russia, B. Germany, C. US, D. France. 13th. Actress Kelly Preston passed away recently at the age of 57 due to breast cancer. She was married to which Hollywood star? The answer is option B. John Travolta. Kelly Preston, Hollywood actress and wife of John Travolta, passed away at the age of 57. She was suffering from breast cancer. The tragic news was shared by Travolta and his daughter Ella Blue on Instagram. 14th. IIF is planning to procure hammer missiles from which nation? The answer is option D. France. The Indian Air Force has decided to procure hammer missiles from France to further boost its combat capabilities. The order is currently being processed by the government under the emergency financial powers given to the armed forces amid the India-China border standoff. 15th. Which nation's Federal Communications Commission has designated 2 Chinese companies as national security threats? The options are A. India, B. UK, C. France, D. US. 16th. Which nation held a referendum to get public opinion on its new constitutional amendments? The options are A. Nepal, B. UK, C. Russia, D. France. 15th. Which nation's Federal Communications Commission has designated 2 Chinese companies as national security threats? The answer is option D. US. The US Federal Communications Commission (FCC) has designated 2 Chinese companies, Huawei Technologies and ZTE Corporation, as national security threats. FCC Chairman Ajit Pai stated that both Huawei and ZTE have close ties with Chinese Communist Party and China's military apparatus. 16th. Which nation held a referendum to get public opinion on its new constitutional amendments? The answer is option C. Russia. Russians on July 1st, 2020 approved the constitutional changes proposed by Vladimir Putin-led Russian government, which will allow Putin to possibly remain in power for another 16 years till to 2036. 17th. The first batch of Rafale aircraft touched down at which Indian Air Base? The options are A. Ambala Air Force Station, B. Avantipur Air Force Station, C. Pathankot Air Force Station, D. Udhampur Air Force Station. 18th. Who has developed the PC heavy drop system? The options are A. DRDO, B. HAL, C. ISRO, D. NASA. 17th. The first batch of Rafale aircraft touched down at which Indian Air Base? The answer is option A. Ambala Air Force Station. The first batch of 5 Rafale combat aircraft landed at the Ambala Air Force Station in India on July 29, 2020. The jets were welcomed in India with a water cannon salute. The pilots of the much-awaited first batch of Rafale aircraft from France were received by Air Force Chief Air Chief Marshal RKS Bhadoria. 18th. Who has developed the P-7 heavy drop system? The answer is option A, DRDO. The Defense Research and Development Organization DRDO has developed P-7 heavy drop system that is capable of para-dropping military stores up to 710 weight class from IL-76 aircraft. The system is fully indigenous and is being manufactured by L&T. 19th. Which state has decided to reopen schools from September 5th, 2020? The options are A. Andhra Pradesh, B. Karnataka, C. Kerala, D. Delhi. 20th. The registrations for human trials of Indian indigenous COVID-19 vaccine began from which date? The options are A. July 7th, B. July 6th, C. July 5th, D. July 1st. 19th. Which state has decided to reopen schools from September 5th, 2020? The answer is option A, Andhra Pradesh. The Andhra Pradesh state government has planned to reopen schools from July 5th, 2020. However, the final decision will be taken after evaluating the situation when the date approaches. 20th. The registrations for human trials of Indian indigenous COVID-19 vaccine began from which date? The answer is option A, July 7th. In response to the directions by ICMR, the maximum number of the institutes have started the subject enrollment process for the first phase of human trial for the COVID-19 vaccine from July 7th, 2020. 21st. Injeti Srinivas has been appointed as the chairman of which authority? The options are A. WB, B. SIDBI, C. IFSCA, D. SCO. 22nd. The Cabinet has approved the signing of MOU between and which nation on traditional systems of medicine? The options are A. Zimbabwe, B. Zambia, C. South Africa, D. Tanzania. 21st. Injeti Srinivas has been appointed as the chairman of which authority? The answer is option C, IFSCA. Injeti Srinivas has been appointed as a chairman of the International Financial Services Centres Authority, IFSCA, by the Appointment Committee of the Cabinet. The news was confirmed through an official notice released on July 6, 2020. 22nd. The Cabinet has approved the signing of MOU between and which nation on traditional systems of medicine? The answer is option A, Zimbabwe. The Union Cabinet has approved a Memorandum of Understanding MOU signed between India and Zimbabwe to expand cooperation in the field of traditional systems of medicine and homeopathy. The agreement was signed on November 13, 2018. 23rd. Which e-commerce company has acquired Walmart Inc.'s best price wholesale stores in India? The options are A. Amazon, B. Reliance JioMart, C. Flipkart, D. Alibaba. 24th. Myanmar and Sri Lanka have eliminated which disease ahead of 2023 target? The options are A. Measles or rubella, B. Ebola, C. HIV or AIDS, D. Smallpox. 23rd. Which e-commerce company has acquired Walmart Inc.'s best price wholesale stores in India? The answer is option C, Flipkart. Flipkart announced on July 23, 2020 that it has acquired parent company Walmart Inc.'s local best price wholesale cash and carry business. This will strengthen the e-commerce firm's wholesale offerings to compete better with Amazon. Walmart has been running the best price wholesale cash and carry stores in India since 2009. 24th, Myanmar and Sri Lanka have eliminated which disease ahead of 2023 target? The answer is option A, measles or rubella. The Myanmar and Sri Lanka have become the first two countries in the Southeast Asia region to eliminate both measles and rubella ahead of the 2023 target. The announcement was made by WHO Southeast Asia's Regional Director Dr. Poonam Khetrapal Singh after the 5th meeting of the Regional Verification Commission for Measles and Rubella Elimination held virtually. 25th, Lalji Tandon passed away on July 20th, 2020. He was the governor of which state? The options are A. Uttar Pradesh, B. Madhya Pradesh, C. Gujarat, D. Bihar. 25th, Lalji Tandon passed away on July 20th, 2020. He was the governor of which state? The answer is option B. Madhya Pradesh. Madhya Pradesh Governor Lalji Tandon has passed away on July 20th, 2020 at the age of 85. He was undergoing treatment at a private hospital in Lucknow since June, but his condition turned critical on July 18, 2020 and he was put on ventilator support. His condition had continued to deteriorate as lungs, kidney and liver were not functioning properly.
Dhanyavad. Thank you. If you like this video, do like, subscribe and share. See you in the next one. Bye bye.